Karim. Hi, I'm Sadet. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hi, so I will remind you the rule for the case. Each team has 20 minutes to present a case to the judge. I will hold up a sign for the last 10, 5, and 2 minutes as well for the last 30 seconds of the presentation. During the last 10 seconds, I will indicate with my finger the number of seconds remaining. If you have not finished your presentation after 20 minutes, you will be stopped in order to proceed with the question period. The question period is 5 minutes. Please note that you cannot say or reference the name of the location of your university. I will now let the judge introduce herself. We can start the presentation when you are finished.
Martin Verrette, Profit Center Manager, MCO, South Shore, Montreal.
Jean-Marc Laroche-Courste, General Manager, Bâtiment Division of MCO Corporation.
Jacques Baronet, Professor of Entrepreneurship.
Perfect. Anybody in the audience who has ever run a student painting business or any other small business will agree with me that being a manager of a small business unit is not an easy task. How do you find the balance between keeping up employee morale and hitting your sales and profit targets? How do you always do the right thing when you're faced with unexpected events on a daily basis? How do you keep that balance, and how do you always follow through on what you say you're going to do? Because this is how you keep customer service as one of your best qualities. So we are here today. My name is Lisa, Karim, and Sudey as the M Consulting Group, and we're happy to present our strategy for the MCO Sherbrooke unit about maintaining and increasing efficiency of your unit. Today we will take you first through the analysis of the current situation, and then we will provide you with our two-step recommendation for the MCO Profit Center in Sherbrooke. So currently you're faced with a situation that sales are increasing or have increased over the last 18 months. However, profits have still remained low. So what this equation tells us is that the sales part of the equation is doing pretty well, but the cost part of the equation is still not up to the standard to where we want it to be. So that's why here today we're going to focus on the cost issue, and we believe that a sales increase will be the natural tendency that follows from better cost efficiency. So AMCO is currently the industry leader, and it has a very decentralized structure. So this can be a benefit, but also a challenge because you're the one who's setting the trends for the industry. You have 15% market share in Sherbrooke, which is lower than what we'd like it to be. And this happens in a very price-aggressive environment. The market is very highly fragmented, which we will further get into in the competitor part. Our goal here today is to realize an ROI of 60% over 5 years, and all this while increasing employee morale and maintaining industry leadership. So if we further look at MCO, the strengths that really stick out are the issue of unlimited access to capital. Usually startups are faced with huge financial challenges. In this case, access to capital is unlimited. This is very good. Also, we have the issue of the positive aspect of industry leadership, good customer service, and dedicated, competent employees, which is crucial in a startup situation. In terms of weaknesses, we realized that there are huge inefficiencies in areas of inventory and HR management, specifically time management. Also, there was a previous lack of vision and mismanagement, which is now changed with the new project manager, Benjamin, in place. So if we look at the market situation overall and we compare the opportunities the opportunities and threats that are out there with market growth and revenue, we realize that the 4 divisions of AMCO fall in the following. So we have the waterworks area, which is very high in market growth, but currently a very low share of revenue. So we see high potential in this area. For the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems, both areas are relatively low. Now, the cash cow is plumbing. However, plumbing is supposedly a quite saturated market, so today we will not focus on the plumbing area. We will keep milking that cash cow, so to speak. However, your future growth efforts should be in waterworks and industrial area. Industrial, you're already doing very well. Market growth is high, and revenue is also high. So where we really see opportunity is in the waterworks area. This opportunity can be further defined by the fire and protection opportunity that has now come up due to new regulations. And you are already industry or market leader in that area because you have positioned yourself quite early. So we want to further tap into this opportunity. So let's now go into our opportunity. By implementing our efficiency strategy, MCO will be able to increase net profits by almost 7% and realize a net present value in excess of 1.2 million over 5 years.
Okay, so I'll be taking you through the decision criteria that we use to come up with our recommendation. So 3 pillars of our decision criteria are the profit impact, the employee morale, and service quality. So first and foremost, profit impact. This refers to the ability of a strategy to not just return profits, but to show an increased profit margin throughout the years. Secondly, employee morale. So we currently know that the Sherbrooke PC, employee morale in the Sherbrooke PC has been decreasing in recent years, largely because the employees are not able to get bonuses because the PC is unable to return a profit currently. And then lastly, service quality. So this really refers to the ability for a strategy to give employees the leeway and the time necessary to address the intimate needs of each customer, identify them, address them, and then provide a follow-up to show that there is continued support, continued addressing of those needs. So the 2 strategies that we looked at were first focused on customer acquisition. So this would entail hiring a vast sales force to procure these new contracts with contractors and plumbers. And the second strategy that we looked at was focusing on operational efficiency. So this would entail identifying the key inefficiencies in MCO's, in the Sherbrooke PC's operations, identifying them and then addressing them. So as to reduce your operating costs and then thus improve your net profits. So really, the main problem that we identified with our first strategy was really the fact that the service quality would decrease as your customer base increases. MCO has this unique competitive advantage to big box distributors, where focusing on a small customer base, you're able to intimately identify those needs, and with our strategy, we hope to keep that competitive advantage.
So now I'll walk you through our recommendation and our strategy. So in our strategy, efficient strategy, we want to address 2 things. First of all, it's going to be operational efficiency, which is inventory. As you told us, we had some issues with keeping inventory. When we have certain surges in inventory, it's hard to efficiently keep up with the demand, and sometimes that involves like extra costs, which is bad for our bottom line. So our efficiency strategy is going to focus on that point. And another point is human resource efficiency, and because why? We have a small dedicated team. However, we cannot be everywhere at the same time and do everything. So we need to figure out a way where we can assign the major tasks to best suited employees. So if you're better at something, we may want to make sure that you're doing that task and not getting distracted by all their small tasks. So by addressing these 2 points, we think our strategy is going to be a game changer, and we're going to allow you to reach your goals by 5 years. So what are the main aspects of our efficient strategy? So we want to have a best price guarantee to mitigate excessive returns. So as you told us, we encountered some problems with some clients finding best prices somewhere else and just leaving us without paying anything. So we want to mitigate that. We want to have a better inventory forecast throughout our operational year and make sure that we always there for our customer when they need it and we have what they need. And finally, all that we're going to be done by digitalization and by data collection on an online catalog. So our inventory efficiency. So what it is, what are the strategies? So our first part of our strategy is with building a web catalog. So what's a web catalog? Before these couple of years, it was very tough online to have something good online, something with 3D visualization, something with information. But now it's becoming easier. And out there's a lot of softwares that help us to integrate everything in one place, from order to delivery to customer billing to everything. So this is an opportunity for us to digitalize our operations and help us achieve our goals. So what's going to be in our catalog? So we'll provide information about our inventory. We'll have visual tours of the inventory, like 3D modeling. We'll have information with videos and maybe some tips just to educate the customer and give them all they need to begin their purchase decision. After that, we'll have quote requests. Why quote requests are important? Because right now we're receiving so many calls with people calling us like, hey, how much can I get that piece for? How much I saw it's cheaper somewhere else. So this will help us to do it eventually, is that people can request a quote online, and they can also attach something like, I found something in another place cheaper, or found this deal somewhere, can you please address this issue? This will help us is that our staff will receive all these quotes at the same time, and they can treat them more efficiently than just receiving calls and having to write stuff on papers maybe losing some tracks. So this is going to have everything in one place and make sure that we address all customer needs and give customers a chance to communicate with us and not simply leave if they find something cheaper. Also, we have online orders. Why online orders? Is because we have some generic items that customers that order all the time, that we don't really need to take the call and make sure everything. They can order them on their own because it's something they're ordering over and over and over again. Or repeat customers that already know how we work, or our prices, how the catalog works, so they can just simply go online, go into their customer account, and simply order. And that will take off a lot of bulk from our operations. And finally, live chat support for better service. What we mean by this is just that customers will not all have to call and wait on the line. So they can send us a quick message, and some of our employees can just take the live chat support. We'll have a rotationally program where every employee goes through the chat support and help these customers answer questions. It's way efficient, it's quicker, and it's adopted by so many companies now because it's cheap and it's an efficient process. So all these things will help us better inventory management and better task management. So as I say, in inventory management, so how are we going to improve our inventory management? Why online? Well, because simply online we have a lot of resources and tools that we cannot have offline. For example, we can track page views, we can add wish lists. What this is going to do, that we can see what products customers are looking at, what products they want to purchase, how many page views they've seen of this product. And that will help us predict the forecast. We'll have an idea of how much, it's not going to be 100% efficient, but we're going to have an idea of what type of products they're looking at and what period of time, and we'll be able to help us to manage our inventory best. Also, as I mentioned before, these softwares right now, they integrate everything in one place. So what's good with that is that we will reduce our mistakes. As you guys faced before some technical mistakes in ordering and order fulfillment, now we'll have everything in one place. Billings, customer addresses, orders, everything's going to be in one place, and this will help us reduce our mistakes and also keep all electronic records in one place, so we will not face any friction with customers, and we'll be able to fulfill their orders in time. In task management, this is more an HR side. So we have an online orders, as I mentioned before, is that it will reduce this little tasks of ordering the same generic items. But also virtual showroom, what's the biggest advantage of that is that customers, your customers and the customers of your customers can go there to look at the products we have. They will have all the information and everything. So when they're going to come into your showroom, they already have a better idea of what's going on, what type of product they're looking at. So this will save us a lot of time on our hands. While providing them a really good service and educating them, we'll also save time on our HR. And now, finally, we will look at the target customers. As you told us actually, is that our target customers, 10% of our target customers represent the majority of our sales. So it's very important to address those customers and address their needs. So what are the struggles that these customers have? What's their purchasing behavior? They're price sensitive, as we saw. They want always to find the best price, even if that means a couple of cents. They time sensitive, so they make sure that the orders they're fulfilling and everything is in time, and they're not wasting time on educating their customers and stuff like that, because as you guys tell us, they prefer to send their customers to our showroom. So now we'll be able to have a catalog for that. And finally, efficient delivery. As they said, they want to have things delivered on time but knowledgeable people to help them in the delivery if something happens, and they want to have the right products at the right time at the right place. So our strategic fit, why is our strategy good with this? It's because we provide with online quotes, and we can provide a chance to customers to interact with us quickly, and so we can address the price sensitivity. So for example, if they need a price match somewhere, we can address that pretty quickly online. Online catalog provides a good source of information, so that's time sensitive, address the time sensitivity, so they will not have to educate their customers and tell them about all the products. They can just send their customers on a website, which they will have all the information there. And finally, order placement online will help us to allow for quicker order placement and quicker order fulfillment. And now I'll pass on to Lisa for the HR.
All right, in every team of only 8 employees, every employee counts. Everybody should feel like their task is important to the process and should realize those tasks to the best of their abilities. Right now, the situation is that virtually every employee is doing something on top of their tasks that shouldn't really be in their area of tasks to do. So for example, Benjamin here is great at communication, customer service, and so on. However, he wastes a lot, or he spends a lot of time dealing with quotes. This could be delegated to somebody like Billy, who will have more time on his hand once he comes back from his sick leave, and he can't do manual tasks anymore. Then we have Jonathan, who currently takes care of deliveries, of the external deliveries, on top of dealing with the warehousing. So this could be, for example, delegated to Simon, who has a delivery license and is right now a casual worker, and who could stay on as a full-time employee, which was already considered by you. Lastly, we have 2 seasonal workers that lack loyalty. So there have been issues with inventory management, that inventory would just disappear. They would work for competitor companies on weekends. So what our recommendation is to mitigate the situation is to offer them full-time contracts. So instead of them feeling insecure about their situation, will they stay on, will they be laid off, how do they fit in, we want to make sure that they feel like MCO is their place to work. So one of these contracts will be that of a delivery man, and the other one will be in sales, so that Marie here can concentrate on getting those 10 contracts and hit her goals, while existing accounts can be managed by a new sales rep. Another clause that will be, or one important clause that will be included in their contract will be an exclusivity clause, so that they can't just go off on weekends and work for somebody else and steal parts. So that will be important in this case. As I mentioned previously, the quoting and purchases should be delegated to Billy once he returns in a month. And Simon should be put in charge of delivery. So we actually, where's my slide? Here we go. We want to bring back in-house deliveries. So this was previously outsourced by the previous manager, but we realized through our cost analysis that this is a huge aspect of our costs right now. So therefore, we want to bring it back in-house. And on this note, today we'll now go through the financials.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so first and foremost, addressing the total cost of the project. So as Lisa mentioned, we will be bringing deliveries in-house. It was previously outsourced, believing that it would reduce operating costs and provide the profit center with savings. However, through our analysis, we see that really is not the case, and so we will be purchasing 2 trucks at a cost of $105,000 each, for a total of $210,000. And these costs are not coming out of operating costs; they will be capitalized. Then 2 drivers earning $35,000 each annually will also be hired to accommodate those deliveries. Then the cost of the website. The website will be outsourced so as to reduce the need for hiring any sort of software developers. And we projected the cost of the website at $50,000. There will also need to be a regular maintenance of the site, as well as regular maintenance of the site, which will be $6,000. 1 new sales rep earning $45,000 annually, and through all of this, we will realize an MPV of over $1.2 million in 2 years and ROI of almost 200%. So our assumption, so we said that the waterworks and industrials are high growth areas, and we assume that these markets are expected to grow at 50% annually. HVAC and plumbing are low growth areas and expected to grow at 10% annually. And then lastly, COGS, we estimated at 80% of total sales, making our gross profit margin about 20%. So you can see here our revenues start at about $4.5 million and grow to over $13 million in year 5, and that's largely due to the growth of the waterworks and the industrials market, like I said, at 50% annually. As you can see here, our gross profit increases to about $2.5 million in year 5. Our net income. So currently our net income margin is negative 1% almost, and this will grow to 5.8% in 5 years. Net income of almost $800,000 in year 5.
All right, so we're faced with an increase in sales, but remaining low profits. So we need to increase efficiency, and this is what we're going to do with our efficiency strategy. Thank you very much. We're now open for questions.
You came out at the beginning with the efficiency strategy with the inventory strategy. I haven't seen anything about the $115,000 of stale product that we do have right now on the shelves. Does the web technology or web situation will fix that thing?
Well, right now the situation is that we have a lot of obsolete inventory that is mainly due to this one customer who will notice a slight change of a few cents in price from a competitor and then send us the inventory back. So that inventory is probably that stale inventory that cannot be used for any other client, and it's just sitting there and taking up space for inventory that would actually be needed. So that's why we came up with a best price guarantee, so that the reason for sending back this obsolete inventory for a couple of cents difference would essentially vanish. So we would get rid of this obsolete inventory.
Does that best price guarantee will affect the margin?
It may affect the margin. However, since this environment is already very price aggressive, it usually just accounts for a couple of cents, and we believe that this can be dealt with in our financials and will be actually financially more sensible than accounting for all this obsolete inventory and the time associated with these inefficiencies.
We also had some showrooms opportunities in terms of sending customers there. Did you have a chance to have a look at this?
We looked at your showroom. Your actual showrooms was a very good strategic move. A lot of big companies are doing it. It's something essential for the people to have a feel of that. And we believe you should keep going and doing that. But as in the showroom, you need to staff that showroom. So every time somebody comes in, you have to take the time to explain them and everything. So our goal of our strategy is just to send you people to your showroom that are already educated better. They're going to come to your showroom for like very specific details that are maybe not on the website, ask you a couple of questions, and maybe make their purchase decision right there. So that was our strategy to address your showrooms. Is more the only problem we saw is that the customers that comes in that knows nothing about it is just going to take up a lot of time. And we believe that our strategy is going to fix this. We're going to educate the customer better while saving time for our workers.
Well, I was wondering a similar question, but if we already have a showroom where people like to touch products, to understand them, to have a feel for them, why would we need an Amazon model website where we click our preferences?
Well, so, like the website, how we envision the website is the showroom. Yeah, I agree with you. People like to touch stuff and everything, but before they come into your showroom, like we want to give them a little feel for some of the products. They can with today's technology, we can even have a 3D showrooms. We can have like not product testing, but like some videos to show how the product works, like some testimonials, some stuff like that to add to ease their purchase decision. So the online tool might not be your main tool for purchase decision, but it's going to make the customer feel at ease when he's going to go there. He's going to see testimonials from previous clients, some videos, some stuff. It's just going to make him, when he's going to come to the showroom, he's going to be more relaxed, he's going to be there to learn a couple of questions and make their purchase decision. So the online tool is complementary, and what it's going to help us more about is that it's going to save your customers a lot of time. They're going to just sign their clients there and stuff. And small things like that over time are going to add up and just allow you to give a better service to our customers, because that's what you're all about as a smaller scale business.
The 200% return on investment that you came out with at the end of your presentation, have you done some financial analysis prior to putting this on paper?
Yeah.
Because it's really interesting to see this big numbers.
Right. Like we said, this is actually our projections for the next 5 years here, and as you can see here, our net income at the end of 5 years is actually $750,000, and our cost of our project is really about $350,000. So we're looking at a return on that investment of about 200% at that point. We're also looking at an increase in net profit margins from about -1% right now to about 5.7%. In 5 years, furthermore increasing our gross profit margin to about 35%, as opposed to just 20% right now.
The question for you is over.